Dear colleagues, I'm happy to present to you the lesson for 7th year students, Eating Habits. The methodological theme of the lesson is the development of monologic and dialogic speech of the students. The learning objectives were set so as to comply fully with the methodological theme of the lesson. The lesson objectives stem from the learning objectives. So by the end of the lesson, the students will have acquired and practiced vocabulary on the certain topics. They will have developed the ability to build a coherent monologue statement on a given topic. They will have enhanced listening and reading comprehension skills, and will have developed the dialogic speech skills. Students are shown pictures of different foods. They should name each of them and tell whether this food is healthy or not. They should elaborate on their answers. This task is aimed at the activation of the prior knowledge. While providing the reasons why this food is healthy or not, students should apply the vocabulary they learned on the previous lessons. This task activates students' vocabulary on the topic nutrients. Thus, their answers should include such words as carbohydrates, fats, fiber, calcium, iron, minerals, vitamins, and such word phrases as to come from, the source of, high in. This task is also aimed at the stimulation of the speaking skills. To present the topic of the lesson and to introduce the lesson objectives, I suggest students to watch the video, What Does the World Eat for Breakfast? This video will help students to define the topic of the lesson themselves. After having watched the video, they share their guesses about the topic of the lesson. After having heard the ideas of the students, I present the topic and the objectives of the lesson to the students. This stage of the lesson activates students' listening skills as well as stimulates critical thinking skills. After having watched the video one more time, students are to tell what country they would like to visit to taste breakfast. While answering the question, students prepare the monologue statement. This stage of the lesson is aimed at the activation of the communicative skills. This stage also totally corresponds to methodological theme of the lesson as students develop their skill of the oral speech. The next stage of the lesson is reading comprehension. Before starting reading the text, the several pre-reading activities will be conducted. Students are given the handout with the new words they might have comprehension difficulties with while reading the text. They should copy these words in their vocabulary notes. After phonetic drill, students are divided into 3 groups for the further stage of the lesson, applying knowledge and skills in a new situation. Group A will get a card with the sentences. Within each sentence, there is a scrambled word that students should unscramble by writing the letters in the right order. Group B will also get a card with the definitions of the new words. So students of the Group B will have to find a word by the given definition. As you can see, there is one more additional question, which is optional for those students who will be able to find the synonyms without using dictionaries. Students of the group C will have to complete the sentences with the new words. Each of the tasks stimulates reading and spelling skills of the students. After the work on the new words, students are asked the question what Kazakh food in their opinion is healthy. They share their ideas with each other and then read the text to check if their guesses about healthy Kazakh food were right or not. While reading the text, students search for the specific information that they need to check their predictions. After having read the text, students are asked the question in order to check their initial comprehension of the text. Before proceeding to the next task, students skim the text one more time. Then they will have the different tasks again. So students of the group A should answer the questions. Students of the group B should prepare their own comprehension questions for their peers. And students of the group C have to write out all the meals from the text and tell whether these meals are healthy or not. While students of the group C are preparing their answers, students of the group B ask students of the group A. In that way, students develop their dialogic speech skills. At the end of the lesson, students of the group C give an oral presentation of the nutritional characteristics of some Kazakh meals. For both teachers and students, it is very important to recognize their strengths and weaknesses, reflect back on the progress, and find the gaps they need to fill in order to be better. This lesson will not be an exception. Students write down one reflection they have about the lesson on a sticky note. They stick then their reflection statements on the wall of the classroom. Later, these feedbacks will be discussed open class or individually.